Good morning. I'm good. I slept well. This is Fix It with Fran, where I talk about all things faith, family, food, and fun. I'm at my third stop of the day, actually. I wasn't recording early. I was like, I'm busy. I'm doing stuff. Don't want to record. At my favorite Lowe's. So I'm parked up front. And yeah, I'm here. I'm about to get out, running in and out really quickly because there's just one thing I wanted to get. But I wanted to share a tip that I have, depending on your city, where you are. It was funny too. This morning I went to Home Depot right when they opened at 6 a.m. The one over by me in New Orleans East. And one of the sales associates was like, "Oh, you in here shopping," because I was getting like the garden border that I need to finish the island in the middle. I got some curtain rods because I need to finish the curtain rods in our kitchen and our game room area, which would have been a formal dining room, but we're not about that life. So we put our air hockey table and our little collection of board games and stuff over there and our old set of couches. So it's going to be fun, I think, whenever outside officially reopens, or at least the rest of our friends get vaccinated so we can hang out together. But the tip that I want to share is that when I do go out really early, I'm very careful about only taking what I need. So I'll take, like, I have this little Coach zip up wallet clutch that will actually fit my phone inside it as well. I take just that. I take my hand sanitizer because I keep that. Keys, of course, that clip onto the clutch. And this actually has a, like, this isn't it, wrong part. Thinking about my different key ring wristlet that goes on. So I literally hold it like this, and that's how I go into my stores. I share that because I think a lot about, like, the fact that, like, when the lady said to me, "Oh, you in here shopping," and then she said, "Women aren't out this early. Like, you never see anybody in here at 6 a.m. I love to do that because, one, if you're looking for plants, when they put out new plants that week, or if they have new plants out for the weekend, you're going to be the first one in there to see what's there and get the good haul. Two, I am still selectively social, especially when it comes to COVID. So I like to go in when it's just me in there. I usually do have, like, my medical mask. Let's see if I can find one. You know, little blue mask like you get if you go to the hospital, and they make you wear those, at least down here in New Orleans. But I like to wear too, like, the little clear glasses one, because with me, I do have asthma, I do have other respiratory issues, and I'm more comfortable wearing those when nobody's around me. So I'm not going to be there at peak hours of the day. But my last little tip, because I don't know what number that is, I'm not even going to try. One is just keeping, like, what you taking with you minimal. Like, let's say something was to happen and somebody would approach me. At least with this, I know they're not going to get my checkbook. They're not going to get my passport card. There's limited things that they're going to get if they take this. How much of gift cards I'll be sad to lose, but it is what it is. And you got to think about that stuff, unfortunately, in this day and time. So one is keeping your possessions and what you take in the store with you minimal. Two is appropriate protection. So, of course, all stores in Louisiana still require a mask mandate, but if you're like me with respiratory issues, they do allow folks who are compromised or whatever to wear these kind of masks. But again, you're not going to have the same protection from this that you have from the regular mask or N95 mask. So you got to think about that. Last but not least, most of our stores here, if you see this little glowing thing, have the official security surveillance unit. I believe that's connected to, like, NOPD, but I always go and park close to one of those because I ain't stupid. Like, my mom didn't raise a fool. I know I'm out here. They usually have security units that are moving around sometimes, depending on the store, depending on the location. But this is a monitored camera, and it has, I think, police dispatch, I believe, at least connected to it or with the store or something like that. So I can't tell you all the logistics of it, but I say that to get to the point of be smart. If you know that there's a surveillance camera or something like that in your parking lot in your store, park next to it, because sometimes criminals are less inclined to mess with someone who they know, oh, they in the right spot. Like, there's no angle to hide me from this. Like, I'll be caught on camera. We gotta think. So yeah, I don't just, oh, I'm going to run out every morning and I change up where I go. I change up the order of where I go. And you got to think about little things like that. Now, given I've worked with law enforcement for a little while now, I've volunteered with law enforcement in different community activist groups in my area. So those are things too that we discuss. But hang around police officers, sheriffs, state troopers enough, and some of it will rub off on you. Just like my husband's computer engineering stuff tends to rub off on me, and I do a lot of my own IT at work. But I just wanted to share that with y'all. I am going to run this last spot and go home because yesterday my husband Brandon was like, are you going to be doing plant stuff all day tomorrow? You're not going to hang out with me and Monica? That hurt my little feelings. So yeah, I'm gonna make this really quick. I left out at 6 this morning and it is not even 7:30 yet. So this is my last stop and I'm going home. Make my baby some breakfast. But as always, this is Fix It with Fran, where I talk about all things faith, family, food, and fun. And before I wrap up, I just want to remind you that I truly believe that God has given us all gifts and talents that can fix some problem that exists in the world. And while we may not be able to fix everything, I truly do believe and encourage you to remember that we all can fix something. So until next time, I pray you would find that thing and fix it. I'll check in with you later. Bye. All right, y'all, I'm back home. I just wanted to show y'all what I got before I go inside. These are some, I think they're, philodendron Brazils, or specialty philodendron. I actually have 2 of these growing in the house. One is a very, very, very small cutting that I got from a local nursery called We Bite in New Orleans. It was like one of their Saturday morning clearance markdowns that I basically kind of resuscitated. It had some spider mites and some issues, which may have been why it was on clearance. But for $5, when these have been hard to find, I just went ahead and got it. So yeah, I'll show y'all that when I go inside. This one actually was a really big pot, so I'll have to kind of do I guess a shopping haul when I go inside and let you really see it. But a really good deal. So I got more than one because there were 2. And then this ZZ plant was just really, really full. So I went ahead and got that for my collection. And turn off my car and go check the hatch. So that's these plant babies in the front seat, buckled in for safety. Like I tell Monica, buckle up for safety. So now I'm going to the back. All right, this will be quick. So I've been looking for some of the edging like we have around the other parts of the house, which is actually, I think, one that came from Lowe's. Couldn't find it. All the Lowe's have been sold out. So I got this other no dig edging. We prefer it. It's easy to put down. Then you use your little stakes and call it a day. So I may have to do some finagling to get these V-shaped stakes that I have for the other border and these round holes, but nothing else. I think if I use my heavy-duty scissors or cutting shears, I can make those work. I went to Home Depot earlier and got this little Glade automatic spray. I don't know if I'm going to necessarily put it in my office here in New Orleans or another bathroom at the house. I've been getting these from Amazon, and on Amazon they're like $10. This one today at Home Depot was like $9 and some change, so I went ahead and grabbed one. I got more of these plant props from Home Depot because I have some plants out here that are still fighting with the wind a little bit, and these were smaller and had a narrower circumference than the other ones that I got. So I wanted to try these to see if they respond better to like the snapdragons or the lavender if they start to need support. And last but not least, I grabbed some curtain rods. So a curtain rod to finish my project that I was doing in the master bedroom, one for the kitchen, another one for the kitchen, and I already grabbed some of these petite cafe rods for the kitchen, but I needed 2 more when I looked around at my windows, and the one that I grabbed initially for our big window in the kitchen was not long enough. So this one is 48 to 84, so that one I think should work. And I'm gonna go, one last thing, I got these little pots because I felt like they would do really well with my African violets that the final ones that I need to get situated. I almost grabbed 2 more, and I said, you know what, let's deal with what we got at the house and get everybody in a pot, and then we can expand the collection. But there were 2 little sad ones still left at the Lowe's that I got my other ones at in the previous video, and I was like, they need a home, they don't need to stay here. But we got priorities. Getting these curtains up and these rods in place is my priority for the rest of today. And I guess I'll walk you around and show you a yard update because I don't think y'all have seen my last little arrangements. Alright, so this little area of the yard is almost filled in. I think that once these start to come up And I'm not sure how old these dianthus were when I received them, but I know that they got a good chill whenever we had our little freeze here in New Orleans. They were outside. When it dropped down lower than I was expecting, I ran outside and got them, and they were all a little frostbitten. But now I understand from my continued research that they need a chill in order to bloom successfully, and that you may not actually get blooms until your second year. So I don't know where these are within that lifespan, but we shall see. And because these are native flowers for Louisiana, they should hopefully get established well and perennialize, and we'll just keep them growing as long as we can. I don't think I showed y'all this. So I had some phlox before that I got from City Park. So when I saw these phlox, I think it's like a combined arrangement, but I saw these at Lowe's on clearance, and I said, well, that'll be nice to put some phlox in another area of the yard. So I put it up here on the corner. My Spanish lavender is still doing well. Glad that it's not at least getting too wet of feet. I tried to prop it up a little bit so that it would keep the roots or the feet of the plant somewhat dry. Oops, sorry. Didn't realize that you couldn't see that. What I was saying was I tried to prop these up a little bit above the ground level so that they didn't get too soggy, because lavender does not like to be in soggy soil. They like sandy, aerated soil that is quick draining. So far it's doing pretty good, starting to spread out. I probably need to come out and prune it a little bit more to encourage more growth, but it's not dying. And speaking of not dying, these are the lantanas that I got on clearance for $2. This is the Esperanza lantana. I think I have been calling this Esperanza in previous videos, but you'll notice that this is putting out more small leaves. I think I'm starting to see some bracts that may actually do flowers soon, so that's been cool. And then here are some plants that I got from one of my groups of free plants and plant trades. I think these are some paper whites, or daffodil paper whites. It's all the same family, same genus or species. I'm forgetting my plant classifications, but neither here nor there. Basically what I'm getting at is when you talk about genus and species and all that of plants, and again, for my master gardeners, let's make this approachable for people. Like, if these aren't the exact daffodils, they're in the same family of daffodils, so they would be like the cousin to a daffodil. That's how we're going to explain that. But I liked the greenery. I thought they were pretty. I felt like this would be like a nice higher level to this little corner. So when these fill in, now these should also perennialize. Basically means that they come back every season. Naturalize means that they start to spread out and expand in an area and become like a natural part of the environment. Again, that's as I understand it. But I realized just now I've been saying those terms over and over in a couple different videos, and someone may watch this and have no idea what that means. So yeah, perennialize is like a plant that will come back every year, and if it is in decent situations, if it's in a condition where it's not too cold and it actually kills the bulb or the root of the plant, it will come back. Naturalize is when you see something like a field of goldenrod or a field of daisies or something where you can tell somebody may have planted it at one point and they just kind of spread out and just got happy in that part. That's what it means for something to naturalize. So I'm hoping that these dianthus will both perennialize and naturalize. I'm hoping that these paper whites will also perennialize and naturalize. And this phlox right here, I'm just hoping it perennializes. Like, I'm just hoping it comes back. And when I got it, it didn't even have any blooms, so at least it's been happy here. Same for the lavender. Lavender may be more tricky, like I said, because it has some certain conditions that it likes. And if it doesn't like it, it's going to give up the ghost, and I will have to replace that plant. But if it does like it, then it's going to spread out more. It's going to like get to its full height and width, and we're going to see this, instead of looking like a little scrawny plant, really be a statement piece in this area. Now, my mailbox snapdragons have not been as happy as the others, although this purple looks like it's putting out some new buds. This yellow one got really beat up, and that was initially why I went and got the first plant stakes. But compared to the other ones, like I said, these are just kind of big, and I feel like they may be too much for this current setup. So that's why I got those smaller, more narrow ones. This lantana is also happy. I see it putting out some new growth, so that's good. And my native flowers are putting out a lot more greenery and less of that yellow where it looks like there may have been some kind of nutrient deficiency. So that's been cool. Same here. I'm going to have to come and prune the Snapdragon, cut it back, see what it's got going on. But this other one is happy, so I don't know if it's a drainage issue with these other ones or what. We'll keep working on it. Alright, this is probably my biggest project area. Sorry, holding this without a tripod. I'm going to do better, y'all. But what I was saying was this is probably my biggest project area that's remaining. I was able to get some garden pins and put these down. And then, of course, I found my original set where I've been looking for them for a while. This agave, initially we had some agave out here. I'm trying to see, I think maybe in the backyard I have a second one. I'd like to put them like here and here as some accent statement pieces. But I wanted to show y'all that my chrysanthemums are really coming back, starting to fill in, and I haven't even pruned these anymore or fertilized them, so I think once I do that they'll be really happy. And the clearance lavender that I got that were all $1 have been blooming, setting buds. They still need to be pruned back in that area that I showed y'all where there was just some dead growth. I'm gonna get there. And then with that border that I got today that was in the back of my car, I'm going to get this finished, pinned down, and then filled in with this mulch. But the chrysanthemums are really starting to show out. That was cool. So same thing in this corner. The dianthus are really filling out, getting better color to them. Dianthus 1, dianthus 2, dianthus 3. Lantana perking up, giving us some bright green new growth. Good to see it. Hopefully it will start to bloom for us in the spring. More of these daffodil paperwhites, unknown but pretties. So what I also plan on doing is that I have 2 over here, that one and that one. So I'm going to split the third one that was in the middle of the other side, and then again hopefully these will start to kind of expand towards one another and spread out when they naturalize. If not, then I'll just keep dividing them and filling them in. And this is another one of those phlox, so it's really pretty. And again, when I got these, they had no flowers on it. They were not happy looking. So they just seem to enjoy this full sun environment that they're in now, because I haven't fertilized. I haven't really done much else to them, although we have been getting a good amount of rain. So that's that for today. Wanted to show y'all that. I'm going to go make my babies some breakfast. But as always, this is Fix It with Fran, where I talk about all things faith, family, food, and fun. I always want to remind you, God has given us unique gifts and talents that can fix some problem that exists in the world. And while we may not be able to fix everything, we can all fix something. So till next time, I pray that you would find that thing and fix it. Happy Saturday. Thanks for shopping with me.